Hey everyone, Fitness Central Bike Shop back with another how-to video. Today we're going to be learning how to clean our bike. As you can see, this demo mountain bike came back and it's absolutely filthy and definitely in need of a good cleaning. Here's some of the supplies and materials that you're going to need to properly clean your bike. First off, we have a soft brush for the paint, a stiffer brush to get the drivetrain, some rags for cleaning and drying, some sort of detergent, you can use dish soap if you'd like, a finishing polish, chain lube, and a bucket and hose. The best way to start is by prepping your bucket and making sure it's filled with soapy, foamy water. Once your bucket's filled with the soapy water, you can begin to wash the bike. The first step in washing your bike, you're going to want to rinse it, but be sure that you don't use any pressure washers or power washers so you don't get into the bearings or pivots. You can get into the bottom bracket, you can get into the suspension pivots, or you can get into the headset bearings. If you have a nozzle for your hose, ideally you're going to want to use the shower selection. That'll make sure that you get the best coverage, but there's not much pressure around it. Now we can begin washing our bike with our hose. You really want to make sure that you can get as much of the bulk off as you can, and make sure that you get in all the little crevices with the hose, but make sure you don't blast it into the bearings. A great place to get that a lot of people forget, myself included, is to blast underneath the saddle with your hose. And right behind the fork crown. You really want to make sure that the rag is completely saturated, and then you can start from top to bottom just like a car. With the saddle, the seat post, make sure you scrub under the saddle, get all the bars on the bike itself on the frame, all the tubes. Be sure to get under all the little crevices and inside the suspension pivots, scrub it all down, and especially under the down tube. You get a lot of dirt buildup under the down tube, behind the fork crown, and under the fork. And also, you can use your soft bristle brush to get into any spots on the frame that might be hard to get with a rag, or you can get the tires. Once you have your bike completely scrubbed down, you can start on the drivetrain. You're always going to want to do the drivetrain last so you're not spreading the grease and the dirt from the drivetrain all over your nice paint on the bike. The most effective way to get the drivetrain clean is to spread some soap on the cassette, get the chain, and make sure you scrub down the chain rings. If you need to, you can use a stiff bristle brush to clean off the cogs in the cassette and to clean off the chain rings up front. Once you're confident that the bike is fully scrubbed down and clean, you can begin to wash off your bike again and make sure you get off all the excess soap and rinse the whole bike off. Make sure that you rinse off both sides of the bike and pay special attention to the drivetrain because you really don't want any soap left over in there that'll interfere with the relubing process once this is all done. And now that the bike is clean and rinsed off, we can dry it. You want to make sure that you towel dry it and not air dry it, otherwise you'll have water spots all over the paint and that could become permanent over time. And finally, once the drivetrain and everything is clean, you can begin to relube the chain. Then you can come back to the bike once everything is dry and finished and use your spray polish. Make sure you get it on the paint, but don't let it get on the rotors or the rim or any braking surfaces because that could contaminate them and you'll lose braking performance because of that. Once everything's sprayed on, you can get a clean fresh rag and wipe it down, make sure it's all shiny underneath.